Hi, this is on Imagination. I am taking a quick step outside of my regular programming to go into 7 steps on how to make you smarter, more educated in these 7 steps. One is admitting how much you have to learn. If you think that you don't have very much to learn, you're not even going to start. It's an immediate requirement because you are in a battle between your ego and the truth. And if you are walking into this holding on to your ego, trying to preserve your pride or your arrogance, you're not going to learn anything. You have immediately shut off the part of your brain that allows learning to take place. So if you walk into a learning environment or this concept, the moment you hold on to or try to resist or preserve your opinion or your beliefs, any kind of bias, you have literally shut off the part of your subconscious mind and your brain that even allows for new information to come in. You cannot both have your ego and also hang on to this information at the same time. You're going to have to assume, and this is actually taught in Pythagoras, Plato philosophy. It is taught that assume that everything you know is wrong. Just assume that you know nothing, that you never received an education. By doing that, it opens your mind to completely absorb, but you've got to immediately get rid of all of your ego. The next one is trading your ego for humility. Humility is full submission to the lesson, 100% submission to the lesson. By putting truth on a pedestal above you and by putting truth as the sole, complete, be all, end all of your existence, it immediately opens you up to receive whatever truth may come your way, no matter what it is. It allows you to completely abandon bias so you can enter into the learning mindset. That again opens up your subconscious mind, your brain, so that it can open up and take in new information and data. This is the hardest and number one reason why people don't learn, is because they have an opinion, a belief, a resistance to learning, which is their arrogance and their ego and their refusal to be humiliated or to prioritize truth over their own ego. The third one is get perspective on your feelings. This is vital. Your feelings are nothing more than your inability or your ability to regulate yourself. If you do not have perspective on what your feelings actually are, you are not going to go anywhere in life. No one should be watching out for your feelings. You should be self-regulating those. If you do not know how to self-regulate, then go back to step 1 and step 2 and then learn how to self-regulate your feelings. By expecting everyone to eggshell walk around you, by talking about your feelings, by drawing attention to your feelings, you have lost perspective on what your feelings really are. Your feelings are only for you to determine if you are taking care of yourself. If they are feeling uncomfortable, if they are out of control, you have failed to take care of yourself, and that is no one else's job but your own. This is the biggest problem that people run into with understanding what the purpose of their feelings are and how much it absolutely interferes with their ability to learn. If you are in a setting where you are trying to have a conversation with someone and you are wanting to talk more and more about your feelings or their feelings, you are not in at all a position to learn. You are now drawing your attention in the entire conversation around how you feel, and it has detracted from any kind of learning that can take place. There is no learning when we talk about our feelings. Feelings and emotions are the signals to tell you that it is time to learn and or to execute to keep yourself safe, which means your entire attention should either be going to you doing self-care and taking care of you using your fourth ethic to make sure you are using a boundary in place, or you need to go self-regulate with that third ethic to make sure that you are meeting your needs before you try and learn. You are not going to be able to learn if your feelings are not disciplined. If your feelings are not disciplined, then the only lesson you should be learning is how to discipline your emotions. Try to Killing Part 1 completely covers that for you. The fourth step is learning the difference between education, knowledge, and information. The majority of stuff you have learned is only information. Education is the process of obtaining knowledge, but knowledge is knowing with truth. The more you know, the more truth you have, the more knowledge you have, the healthier you are, the easier it is for you to actually execute and take care of problems. And after a while, you end up with no problems. A person who has a good education with proper knowledge has zero problems in their life. What they have are occasional life lessons to learn, which they handle with mastery. What you most likely ended up with is information, which is garbage, low quality, useless data that isn't even correct. In most cases, it's incorrect nonsense that you put into your brain due to poor, shoddy education. A proper education will actually tell you how to sort out good quality information, which is knowledge, from garbage information. The next thing is learning logic. Learning logic is the process of learning proper education, problem solving, and everything that I just explained to you is all taught in logic. Logic is the process of problem solving, living, execution, psychology, it's everything. Everything in logic teaches you everything that you've ever needed to know about everything. Because you have failed to learn logic, because your educators failed to teach you logic, your ability to manage and navigate through life is bare minimum, including how to learn, which also is logic itself. Learn logic. It's available at Khan Academy. The next one is learn linguistics. Learning linguistics, specifically the etymology of words and the definition, allows you to see what the words actually mean. And it corresponds with your ability to learn logic because logic is built off of the words you use. Once you have proper education with good knowledge, which you get from logic, you will understand exactly how vital linguistics is to logic, to your education, to knowledge. You mess up linguistics, it will interfere with your ability to have logic, your education, and your knowledge, leaving you with shitty information that leaves you uneducated. Linguistics is defining the word so that you can utilize the logic properly. Learn linguistics. Go back specifically to the etymology of the word and get rid of the idea that words evolve. No, they don't. It is called morphology. They do not evolve, they morph, and that's an entirely different concept. Evolution means that your one brick turns into a cat. Morphology means your one brick goes alongside multiple bricks to make a pyramid. Completely different creature. Morphology is what linguistics does, not evolution. A linguistic did not study logic or science when they invented that concept, which is why it's incorrect, which is why you need to study logic so that your logic and your linguistics go hand in hand to make sure that they correct each other. And that way you build a solid ability of education and knowledge. Linguistics, specifically etymology, and the word never changes. The next one, the last one, is get curious and wonder. Learn to get curious and wonder. Ask questions. Curiosity and wonderment is literally the fuel and the motivation behind all of learning. If you desire to get smart, this is exactly where it all begins, is getting curious and wondering. Get curious about linguistics. Get curious about wisdom. Get curious about the difference between knowledge and information. Get curious about education. If you are, this is extra credit. If you are uber excited about learning about education and wisdom, that is where you are going to want to research something called Asa or Asha, Zoroaster, Pythagoras, and Solomon. Those are only the words you know. You go into that and it's going to unlock everything you need about wisdom, true knowledge, true education. Again, that's Asa or Asha, which is the science and study of wisdom. And this was perfected back over 2,000 years ago and mastered and then passed on to Pythagoras, who passed it on to Plato, who then passed it on to me. Really amazing, amazing stuff. That is 7 steps with extra credit on how you can make yourself smarter and how to improve your own knowledge and to also check it to make sure everything is working for you. This is literally where it all begins. I have my Triadic Healing Part 1, which for free walks you through the entire process of clearing out your poor education, replacing and upgrading your education with quality information from Asha, and then also curing your mental illness in the process. making way for Triadic Healing Part 2, which is where you learn how to do human circuitry and then connect it to other things. Again, this is all free, and it is the building block that takes you from wherever you are in life to wherever it is you want to go. Thank you so much, and may the truth always find you.